Today, we recognize the accomplishments of these lawyers in the 50 years since they were licensed to practice law. Fred Baggett attended law school at UNC and began his career as an assistant city attorney in Raleigh. He is semi-retired as a solo practitioner. His advice for young lawyers is be kind to each other. Gerry Hancock attended Duke University School of Law and is still practicing as a partner with Everett Gaskins Hancock, LLP. He is the founding chair of the NC Center for Public Policy Research, NC Public School Forum, NC Biotechnology Center, EDNC, and also served in the North Carolina Senate from 1980 to 84. Some advice he would give to young lawyers is always give first priority to the goals of your clients. Cultivate and treasure friends with character, wit, and serious purpose, and reflect often on whether you are maintaining an appropriate balance of your work and the other factors that matter to you, starting with your family. Judge Joe John attended UNC School of Law and currently serves as a member of the NC House of Representatives. He began his legal career as a staff attorney for the Greensboro Legal Aid Foundation and served on the bench of District Court, Superior Court, and Court of Appeals. His advice for young lawyers is remember that an individual's lifelong view and opinion of our profession and the court system is likely to be determined by their single experience with you as a civil or criminal litigant, and conduct yourself accordingly in word and deed. Gerry Leonard attended UNC School of Law and began his career as a senior law clerk for U.S. District Court Judge Franklin Dupree. He is semi-retired and continues working with the Federal Public Defender Panel. He has served on boards for several organizations throughout his career, and his advice for young lawyers is do not get full of yourself. Keep trying to help every client. Pick your needy client and do everything you can to honorably serve them. Reed Dunn attended UNC School of Law and served 39 years in the NC Department of Justice, with the final 23 as Senior Deputy Attorney General. She was a state bar counselor for 13 years, served on the Disciplinary Hearing Commission, and was a trustee of the Client Security Fund. Her advice for lawyers, however long they have practiced, is to remember that professionalism is one of the reasons law is called a profession and not an occupation. John Silverstein attended UNC School of Law and retired from Satisky and Silverstein LLP in April 2020. He is a recipient of the WCBA's Joseph Branch Professionalism Award and has served on the WCBA and 10th Board of Directors and several committees. He advises lawyers that valuable skills are developed by actively working with other lawyers for the benefit of the profession or the public, and rewarding relationships with peers, mentors, and mentees are nurtured and often last beyond the period of active practice. The camaraderie developed through active participation in projects and programs with other lawyers is well worth the time and effort expended. Ernie Simmons attended Wake Forest School of Law and began his career as a law clerk for Justice I. Beverly Lake on the North Carolina Supreme Court. He has been with Smith, Anderson, Blunt, Dorset, Mitchell, and Jernigan, LLC, since 1972. His advice for young lawyers is to think about the practice area in which you want to concentrate and try to predict whether that practice area will grow and expand over the next 10, 20, 30 years, or if you are likely to be forced into another area of practice later. Bill Trott attended UNC School of Law and received his LLM from George Washington University. He began his legal career with the U.S. Navy JAG Corps and is currently of counsel at Young, Moore & Henderson. He is a past chair of the Wake County Parks and Recreation Commission, past president of the Capital Area Soccer League and North Carolina Tennis Association and Foundation, and also helped start the WCBA's own Lawyers Basketball League. His advice for young lawyers is to focus on 3 areas: be honest, and use your legal skills to benefit the community. Also celebrating their 50th year of practicing law, but unable to join us today, are Carlton Billingsley, Steve Camp, Kent Christison, Bud Crumpler, Jack Cummings Jr., Fran DePasquantonio, Sam Ewell Jr., Don Grimes, Norm Sheeran Jr., Eddie Spees Jr., Ode Stroop Jr., George Teague, Woody Webb, and Mike Weeks. We recognize and appreciate your service to our profession and are honored to celebrate your 50-year anniversary.